After about week 2, it got to the point where this was automatic. I had officially programmed myself. I was officially on autopilot. What's up, heroes? This week we're talking about execution. You know, it's not enough just to have a plan. It's not enough just to have a goal and brainstorm ideas of what you need to get done to get that goal accomplished. It's not enough to just set off in a direction. How do you follow through and stay consistent and execute so that you can actually accomplish the goal that you're setting out for? And so this week we're talking about consistency and execution, executing the plan. One of the biggest detractors, the things that get in people's way the most when they set off on this new journey, they're all excited. They got their goals, they got their New Year's resolution, and they signed up for the new service. They downloaded the app, they got the new gym membership. They're all hungry and aggressive, and then all of a sudden, they get hit by the whirlwind. The whirlwind, again, is everything that will take you away from your new routine, from your new process, from your new ambition, from your new intention. This thing you want to do, you want to spend time doing this, you've dedicated and you've allotted and you've committed to it, and then all of a sudden, you got to deal with this stuff over here. Every day, I got to deal with these distractions. I got to deal with family. I got to deal with current clients, and I got to deal with issues. Every day, there will be urgent things that come up that will steal your time, tension away from what you wanted to do, from this goal that you wanted to work on, from this time that you needed to spend doing this thing over here. So how do you prevent yourself from getting sucked into the whirlwind every day so that you can actually push your goals forward? I want to walk you through kind of a mindset of how to build a routine, for success. And it starts with kind of the process we've already outlined with coming up with your goals. So here, this is the example that I've been using. Having your goals, and then from there, you'll want to identify what are the critical actions that moves each of these goals forward. Now, the critical action is the one habit or behavior that if you did that every day, you will automatically push that goal forward and make it happen. And so let's just walk through this example here. In this case, my goal is to get 3 new clients. What's the critical action for me to get new clients? Let's just say in this example, it's 20. I have to make a certain amount of calls each day. Let's say I make 25 cold calls. I just know from the history that when I make outbound calls to people, they tend to sign up. So the more outbound calls I make, the more people sign up. So it's a natural connection. If I want to get more clients, I have to make more calls. So this is the critical action for me to get new clients. All right, lose 2 pounds. What do I have to do? In my case, I need to concentrate on doing at least a good workout every day. A 60-minute workout, whether it's a hard workout or if it's a light workout, like going for a 60-minute walk. Whatever it is, I have to do something active every single day. And so I'm going to put it 1 hour workout. That's my critical action to lose. It's the most important thing I have to concentrate on every day to hit this goal of losing 2 pounds. My third goal is to connect more with mentors and people in a circle of influence. So what's the critical action that I need to do every day to push this goal forward? Well, in that case, it's simply reaching out to someone. So let's just call it circle of influence reach outs. And that reach out is either a text message or an email, however I communicate. I just need to connect with someone every day. So I've identified these 3 things as my critical actions. These are the most important things that if I can be consistent with this, these goals are guaranteed. If I can be consistent with just doing these 3 things every day, I'm automatically going to hit this goal. Here's the problem. These things are very, like, in the face of the whirlwind, these are lower priority. In the face of a client just called and they've got this issue I have to deal with, that takes precedence over me making my calls. That takes precedence over me doing a workout. If my family needs me, if I just want to sit on and watch Netflix and distract myself, all that, the whirlwind takes precedence over this. So this right here, I will fight and resist. The problem with critical actions is that they are not urgent. The world doesn't stop if you don't do these things. And so these are the things that you will procrastinate and put off most often. And if you can't build consistency with this, you won't hit these goals. If you can't consistently do these critical actions, these won't happen. So how do you build consistency with doing these so that you don't procrastinate, you don't put them off, you don't fight and resist it every day. And that comes down to just building a routine. A routine is just a standard flow that's repeatable, it's the exact same every single day. It's a routine, it's just a rhythm. And so I want to help you build a rhythm of success where you don't fight doing these things anymore. And that comes down to how do you plan your day so that you can just be consistent with it every single day. I personally like to build it as a part of my morning routine. I think the morning is where you have the most control. Once the whirlwind of the day takes over, you have no control over what happens after that. But typically your mornings, you have the most control over. So my prescription is that you try to build your critical actions into a morning flow. Once the day gets going and gets started, it's hard to try to gauge if you're gonna have enough mental and physical capacity to do these things. So the earlier in the day you do them, the better. So what I'm gonna do now is just plan out a generic structure of a perfect morning, a perfect day. And this is actually a real world scenario when I was in commercial real estate. And so back at that point, I was waking up at 5 a.m. And let's just say 5 to like 5:30, I just call it ramp up. So that's where I get up, get my coffee, do some stretching, and kind of just ramp up for the day. Now, I know I want to go my morning workouts. I was starting to do like a 6 a.m. class. So I just immediately gonna block that out. 6 to 7 was my workout. And I know right after my workout, I needed about an hour of, I call it buffer time, which is like getting breakfast, getting dressed, taking a shower. Now, the things that I have left that I need to build in are my 25 cold calls and connecting with someone in my circle of influence. Right after here, after I ramp up, I have like a half an hour before my workout. It only takes me about a half an hour to do this, to reach out to someone. So I'm gonna build that in here. I'm gonna call that reach outs. So that's simply me just going in my text message or my email and writing them a quick email. Hey, just wanted to reconnect with you. How you doing? Want to do lunch later this week? So I'll do my reach outs there. And now look at my 25 cold calls. So after I get dressed and do a shower, that takes me about 2 hours. And so I would do that 25 calls. And so now I've got kind of this high level outline of a perfect morning routine. I get up, kind of ramp up for the day. First thing I do is I do my reach outs. It's built in right into my morning routine. I go into my email and I send out a couple of emails. Right after that, I do my hour workout, which is one of my critical actions. Come back from my workout, I got a buffer time where I'm eating breakfast and taking a shower. And then I go into the office and boom, I do my 25 cold calls. What I would do is that would be locked into my calendar every day because I want to build that as a routine. I remember when I was trying to, when I first started commercial real estate, making calls is the hardest thing. I would always push that off. Even though I would plan my day and I would have my to-do list and I would always make 25 cold calls on my to-do list, I would get to the office, I would open up my inbox, and next thing you know, I got a couple of things in there from my boss who wants something. I got something from some clients. This person needed a report done. And I would get sucked into this, doing all this minutia stuff, and I would always put this off and I would never get around to it. And so it was the hardest part for me to be consistent with this because one, I didn't want to do it to begin with, but then two, all this other stuff came up that was more urgent than this. And so this was the thing that always got pushed off. However, this was the thing that was gonna help me hit my goal. Not all these small minutia transactional things. This is the thing that's gonna help me hit my goal. And so I was like, how can I build it in so that I don't get distracted by all this other stuff? And so I made a pact with myself that as soon as I got to the office, every day from 8 to 10, that was my grind time. That's when I did the calls and nothing else got in the way of that. And so I'd walk into the office and the first thing I would do, I would set my bag down and go right into a call room, and I would spend an hour and a half to 2 hours in the call room making my cold calls. And I wouldn't come out of that room until I was finished with my cold calls. The first 2 weeks of doing this was tough. After about week 2 of doing this routine and this rhythm, it got to the point where this was automatic. I had officially programmed myself that this was just my flow. I went and did my workout, I went into the office and I made my cold calls, and that was just my flow. It was my rhythm, it was my routine. I was officially on autopilot and I stopped resisting this anymore. At that point, I got so consistent that I was dialed in and I had so many new leads generated. I had so many deals in my pipeline. I had so many people calling me for business that I was overwhelmed because I had gotten really, really consistent with my critical actions. The only way I got consistent is if I baked it into my calendar and I did it at the exact same time every day. That's the only way it gets burned into your subconscious, that it's your part of your routine. It's just like you wake up, you brush your teeth. Like, you don't even think about it anymore. You just do it because you do it at the exact same time every day. Now, if I just got up and said, hey, at some point today I need to make my calls, I would never make them because they would always go down to the bottom of the list. And I was like, oh, I'll just do it later in the day. And then the later in the day comes and it was like, okay, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. It would always get pushed to the bottom of the list unless I baked it into my calendar and I did it at the exact same time every day. So my prescription is, whatever your critical actions are, you know what your goals are, you know the 3 most important things you have to do every day to push those goals forward. Bake it into your calendar and do it at the exact same time every day. If you can do it in the morning, that's preferable because that's where you have the most control of your day. Some things you won't be able to do in the morning. If your goal is to spend more quality time with family, typically that's going to be an evening ritual, not a morning. So not everything fits in your calendar perfectly as a morning ritual, but whatever it is, if you bake it in at the exact same time every day, that's where you start to program it into your subconscious that I don't fight it anymore. This is just what I do. It's like it's like you're a robot. You've programmed yourself that every day at this time, this is what I do. And that only comes from constant repetition. And when you get that level of consistency, then your goals naturally happen. They naturally manifest. Build a routine where you do these things at the exact same time every day. And that's where you'll get your consistency. All right, everyone. See you in the next video.